Welcome, guys. What's happening? Hope you're all doing well. Don't mind the floor. Don't mind the dog. Joe just kind of barking. He's taking a nap, and their dogs are barking in the background out in the yard. I don't know if you can hear them lightly. And Joe hears him even when he's sleeping. He starts barking. We just had toy time. But anyway, guys, I don't know if you remember. If you're new here, welcome, and thank you so much for your time. This is just a channel where I just like to, play and release emotions in the only way that I know how, and that's with musical instruments. It's the last year and a half has been guitar. Before that was keyboards, and most of my life spent as a drummer. Metal, prog, jazz, fusion, you name it. The more intricate, the better. I always found myself challenging myself. And once Katrina hit, I stopped playing. Well, I didn't have a kit, but I played a little bit once I moved up here, sitting in for bands. And then being a single parent at that time, I wasn't able to keep up with it. So I just retired that for the time being. And it turns out like 12, 13 years has already got behind me since I've really played. So I picked up keyboards a couple of years ago, about 5, 6 years ago, and started playing again, and one thing led to another. My son grew up, moved out, and my daughter, and next thing you know, I had this big, huge moment where I was like, I've got to get a guitar, watching that Comfortably Numb solo. And Gilmore's always been a big passion of mine, or Floyd. So anyway, guys, let me get to this. So I'm on guitar here the past, year or so, serious with it. I'd plucked around before and was familiar with it. Power chords and my main chords and stuff like that, but soloing, I didn't know what I was doing. So I'm getting a little bit better as time goes on. So now, of course, along with changing instruments again, you fall in with a community and you hear about good things, positive things, what to buy, what to do. You just learn. It becomes a hobby. It's a passion. It's a lifestyle at some point. So I want to know what the in and outs. So I bought this as like the third or fourth guitar in my 7 or 8 that I've accumulated now, and I love Strats, but I saw this Classic Vibe for $169 from Music Go Around, and it was marked as an SE, so I jumped on it. And there's the I don't care if people see my number on there. And it's just a beautiful guitar. So I made a bunch of videos with it. I don't brag, but I was proud of it, and so I kept telling everybody, like, Classic Vibe, I had to say that it was not stock, because I don't want people to think that this is what theirs will sound like when they buy it. So I had to keep saying with Mighty Mite pickups, and I kept putting in there Alnico USA. Well, they're not Alnico USA, and so I stand corrected, but at least they are still Mighty Mites. And like I said, I found out why. There was cloth wiring and ceramic poles and heavy wax. And that was a Mighty Mite thing. That's just some that they put out. And whoever put this together did it for a reason, because they're high output. And I got talking with a guy, very clever. And apparently he's been playing for years and working on guitars. And he's the one that told me, he goes, man, you have Mighty Mite pickups. I was like, are you sure? It's not just the covers? Because they got the cloth wiring. But they look like made in Mexico, because I've got them in my Mexican Strat. And he goes, and I went and sought those out. He said, Mighty Mite makes some killer pickups. They actually make pickups, in fact, for different guitar companies, and they just put their names on them. Just like Tone Rider makes pickups, probably is the one that the Classic Vibes come with. The only problem is that sometimes they're not high enough output, and some people like to play like metal, or they like darker tones that and more output. They'll go for the ceramic pickups, and ceramic pickups for some reason just got a bad reputation, because they weren't, they just weren't whatever. They weren't like, they didn't look as good. They did. I'm not sure why they got a bad rep, but if you dig deep enough, you'll find that some professional guitarists actually prefer, I think Jeff Beck was one of them. Was it Jeff Beck? I don't remember. One of them actually in their actual build, one of these big famous guitars, he always used and used ceramic pickups by choice. So a lot of people do use these. They're not worse. There's no such thing as better or worse. Ceramic just has one set output, you know, they hold their power, their higher output. I don't know why they cost less in some occasions, but they seem to be put in more guitars stock than ceramics. Once you hit a certain price point, people will, unless there's tone specific reasons to put in the ceramics. I guess because a lot of people play blues and they like those brighter tones, you know, on Strat, so you'll see Alnicos. Like I know with metal, a lot of times bridge pickups stock will come with ceramic pickups, which these, let me show you. These. All right, the Crunch Lab, the one with the cool looking little long magnet down there, or long bar, that's a ceramic pickup. Now the one on top, that's the bridge pickup, or the neck pickup, I'm sorry. The liquefiers for the neck, made for the neck, you put it where you want. That is Alnico. This is ceramic. So, upon some digging and studying, and this is going to be for whoever wants to just watch the video, and if you're a beginner, this hopefully it'll help you out, because it helped me to find out. When you see a pickup, and it says ceramic in it, don't automatically assume that you got to swap them out. The whole time that I thought these were USA Alnico pickups, well, the reason was because why would somebody get a guitar specifically purchased because of its tone quality stock with Alnico tone writer made, whatever, SC101s or whatever, you know? Why would they take those out and put in ceramics? That was my question. I was like, well, why would you downgrade? Well, this guy was like, dude, no, he said, that's not a downgrade. It's actually, it's a sound upgrade to the person that, whatever they're looking for, you know? Well, that guy could have put Squire, cheap Squire, or Mexican pickups in it, or whatever, you know? He could have bought those, but he didn't. He went and he bought specific built by Mite pickups. That's why they're they're handmade, cloth wired. They're just ceramic. And that's why there's so much wax on them and stuff. They were, you know, that's why they didn't make a lot of noise. And CCJ, a guy on my channel, he was having a bunch of like noise problems and stuff. And maybe the other guy had the same issues with the Alnicos he had. These, I'm telling you, they don't make that much noise. Now, yeah, I get that. I get the 60 cycle hum with them, but they're not nearly as bad as it is like if I was to get my Mexican one, which that one's not even that bad. So I can imagine if I had Alnicos in that bridge position, maybe, I'm not sure, guys. I really don't know. I'm just kind of trying to justify that, but they are indeed. Now, the Cortec 500K pots, I don't know why they put those in there, but the guy that I did the video with, he said that it looks like it's the same, like that's just what they were putting in these from the ICS factory or the court or whoever built this in China. And so that's what really threw me off, was like 500K pots. But the reason was he added those because, like I said, he wanted a high output. And the 250K or the little cheap alpha pots that come stock in the classic vibes weren't allotted to handle the capacity of the output of these. I have no idea. I mean, anybody who wants to correct me, feel free. I'm still learning, and this is how I learn. But I just wanted to get this video out to tell everybody these are indeed Mites. And so if you do like the sound of these pickups, let me know, and I'll post a link to them because I found them new. All right, guys. Well, I hope that covers it. And you guys take care. Thank you so much for checking out my channel. Peace.